but I'm going to sit here and once again explain to you how different the world is when you have a mind which isn't warped and affected easily by outside influences. You are never going to become a robot. This has nothing to do with not feeling emotions. This has nothing to do with just becoming an empty, emotionless void of a person. That's not what this is. This is about understanding that you're a human being. You're going to feel emotions. This is a beautiful thing, and making sure that you use them in the correct way. A, and B, you do not ever let them stop you doing what you're supposed to do. I say to people often, I haven't felt like going to the gym in 2 years. I'm wearing my gym clothes right now. I just finished training. I haven't felt like training in 2 years. After 10 years of professional fighting, after giving my life to exercise, genuinely, I have not woke up and felt like, oh, I really want to train. I haven't felt that way in a long time. That's why I retired from fighting. But I have still gone and I have still trained regardless of how I feel. So this is one of the tenets, and there's going to be a lot of things you're going to learn, of an iron mindset. It's the ability to not let your feelings affect you, and sometimes to do the complete opposite of how you feel. Because you're not going to very often feel like working hard. You're not going to always feel like doing the right thing. You're not always going to be motivated. The idea that you need to be constantly motivated shows how weak your mindset is. I don't need motivation to go to the gym. I cannot want to go with every fiber of my being, and I will still be there. Because I use my cerebral ability, I use my mind, and I logically decide what I'm going to do with my day regardless of how I feel, regardless of whether I'm motivated or not. This course is going to be 6 weeks that's going to teach you how to put together a mindset that allows you to get things done. Because that's all life is, and that's all the world is. Life is just getting things done, doing the right things, doing the important things, making sure they're done efficiently and thoroughly so that you live the best possible. It's as simple as that. It's not particularly complicated. A lot of the lessons that you would need to learn, I gave out in my free video. So if you've not seen that video, once again, the link is below. Watch that video for a start, because that teaches you some very, very important things about where your mind should be to begin. And this 6-week training is going to be about exercises you can do to teach yourself slowly over time to put together a mindset that prevents you from failure. Because if you have a mindset that doesn't allow you to fail, then you're simply going to win with no other option. So that's what this is all about. So in the first week, we're going to learn something which is extremely basic, but it's extremely important. I'm not going to be, and I don't want to be one of those guys who's like motivation, inspirational. I've never been one of them people. I don't believe in motivation, inspiration. I don't believe in that crap. I don't believe that you need motivation to get things done. I'm not going to sit here and just talk a whole bunch of motivational things to make you feel good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you the things I always did that allowed me to put together the mindset I currently have. So, if you look at any story, literally any story with a hero in it, they all have one thing in common, and that thing is that there's always a villain. You cannot have a hero without a villain. It doesn't matter, you can think of any superhero, any comic book, any book you can think of, any movie, there's always a good guy and there's a bad guy. So for the good guy to exist, there has to be a bad guy. There's no other way for the duality of the universe to continue without this basic tenet. So you want to be the good guy in your story, I've said this before actually, as a man, life is going to be difficult. It's more difficult than being a woman. It's more difficult than anything else. So it's very easy to see yourself. Life is actually easier as a whole if you see yourself as a hero. Because in every single hero story, the hero suffers. He has a hard time. And if you understand that you're suffering because you're a hero, then the suffering begins to make sense. So you can be sitting here right now going, my woman doesn't respect me, I have no money in the bank, this is difficult, I'm struggling here, I'm struggling there. You can feel sorry for yourself, or you can say, yeah, my woman doesn't respect me, I'm struggling, I can't make money, but you know what, that's because I'm a fucking superhero. And my life's gonna be hard, because I'm a man, and as a hero it's gonna be difficult. These are the tests and the trials and tribulations I have to go through to become someone. Every single male superhero went through a whole ton of shit before he became superhero. You've seen the Batman, his parents died, he was locked up in jail, all these bad things happen, and then they emerge as the hero. And this is done for a reason, because it's the reality of life, especially as a man. So right now, you have to understand that you're the hero in this movie. And if you're struggling for a very important reason. And how you handle these struggles, and how you deal with these struggles are going to decide the kind of person you're going to be afterwards. You're either going to be a superhero, or you're going to succumb to them and you're going to fail. So be happy that you're struggling, because that's important. That's the first thing. The second thing is, there has to be a villain. Now, most people think their villain is someone else. You see this all the time. The villain's the opposite of the hero. So if you're sitting at home and you haven't got much money and you're broke and you're pissed off and you're depressed, and you look at me and I have 4 supercars and all these girls, I'm traveling the world, I go everywhere I want, you may think I'm your villain. People look at other people and say, oh, that guy has this guy has this, and they become envious. They think that's the villain. That's not true. That's not the case, because every single person has different circumstances. There are things you have that I don't have. There's things I have that you don't have. So I may have had a genetic gift over you, for example, because I'm a fantastic kickboxer. But you may have been born more wealthy than me. I was born in a very, very poor family. So I had advantages and disadvantages. You had advantages and disadvantages. So comparing yourself to other people is asinine. It's inane because it's not a level, fair playing ground. There are some people who are born to millionaire parents who are gorgeous, model, good-looking, and have six-packs without trying. Some people are lucky like that. That's just how it is. So comparing yourself to these people is not going to help. Your villain is nobody else. Your villain is someone you're going to create. And you're going to create your villain because he's going to motivate you to be the most powerful hero you can possibly be. So you're going to create your villain. And this is the task for the first week. This is a 6-week training course. And over each week, you have a very important task. And the task for this week is to create your villain. To make sure that there was no disadvantages involved, your villain's going to be a clone of you. But what your villain's going to have is he's going to have some things you don't have. And your villain is going to be the person who basically, without requirement for motivation, without being, no matter how he feels that day, no matter how stressed he is from work, regardless of what happens to him, your villain is going to be the guy who always does exactly what he wants to do. So your villain's going to be the guy who goes to the gym regardless of how he feels. Your villain's going to be the guy who approaches every beautiful girl he ever sees and says, "Hi, I really think you're beautiful." Goes over to them and talks to them. Your villain's going to be the guy who asks for a raise. Your villain's going to be the guy who does everything he wants, regardless of how he feels, regardless if he's not motivated or not, regardless if he's shy to talk to that girl or people are watching or his ankle hurts, he doesn't want to go to the gym, whatever. Or he thinks his boss is going to fire him. The villain is that dude who does anything he wants to do. So for this week, you have to sit and you have to make a list of all the things. You have to sit there and say, if I did everything I want to do, if I were to be the best version of myself possible, what would I do? Okay, well, I'd go to the gym every day. I'd get up at 6 a.m. and I'd go to the gym every day. You write that down. I'd approach every beautiful girl I ever see and I'd introduce myself and try and get their Instagram number. Write that down. For example, I'd start a side business. Even though I don't know anything about it, I'd learn how to make websites. My villain's the kind of guy who would sit there and he'd learn how to do it by himself and he'd start his own online business. Write that down. My villain's the kind of guy who reads really important books. I say I don't have time, but my enemy, this villain, he reads books. He finds time. He doesn't watch TV ever. He doesn't waste time ever. He doesn't eat junk food. He reads books. Write it down. You have to make a list. Now this list at first should be easy for you, but then you're going to get to about 7 or 8 things you're going to stop. No, this list needs to be 25 to 30 points long, minimum. This guy you're building, your arch nemesis, you have to write down every single quality about this guy. What he does. He goes to the gym every day, 6 a.m. He doesn't watch TV. He doesn't eat junk food. He goes up to beautiful girls, etc., etc., etc. 25 or 30 points long. Because this is going to become your enemy for the next 6 weeks of training. You want to become a hero, you need someone to battle against. This is who you're battling against. You're battling against a better version of yourself, a version of yourself that doesn't succumb to how he feels, but does what he's supposed to do anyway. So this is who your villain's going to be. And when you're writing down this list, all the qualities your villain has, imagine what this person looks like. You have to put genuine effort into this. You have to imagine what he looks like, imagine how he walks, imagine how he talks, imagine what people think when they see him. Imagine how different you would be if you had been going to the gym every single day for an hour and a half, every single day for the last 2, 3, 4 years. Imagine it. Imagine how differently people would look at you. Imagine how differently females would treat you. You would jack like that guy. You have to sit and you have to put down all these qualities, and then once the qualities are there, 25 or 30 minimum, then you have to imagine what kind of person this is. You have to imagine what he looks like, what he talks like, what he thinks like. Imagine how he views the world, because this is who you're going to be battling against. So you have to put genuine effort into constructing this person and understanding this person. The reason I'm saying do this is because this is what motivates me every single day. When I was training for a fight, the reason I'd always go train is because I knew my enemy was training. But when I stopped fighting professionally, I thought, well, what enemy do I have? And I realized I had to create my own. So when I don't feel like going to the gym, I imagine I've built my own enemy. I won't even list all the things that my enemy has. He has a whole bunch of shit I don't have. And he would be an impossible, nearly impossible person to be. But when I sit and I don't feel like going to the gym, I know my enemy's training because he trains no matter what, regardless of how he feels, regardless if he's pissed off, or if there's traffic, or it's raining, or he's tired. My enemy trains. When I see a girl and she's beautiful, but all her friends are there and are afraid they're going to laugh at me, my enemy wouldn't give a fuck. He'd go over there anyway. That's who he is. He's the man. So when I understood who I was truly battling against, then you have two choices. You either rise up to try and take him on, or you become a lose. There's the choice. Do I want to lose to this man I've created, that I've built? Do I want to lose to him, or do I want to beat him or compete with him? And you have to make a choice, and you sit there and go, well, I know that the person I created in my mind, my arch nemesis, would go over there and he'd talk to all the girls. And he'd fuck 2 of them, let alone 1. This is an extremely important facet. And for the next 6 weeks, you're doing lots of things that are going to revert back to the enemy that you've created. So you have to put genuine effort into putting together this person. You have to imagine everything about them from start to finish. You have to imagine standing next to them. If you were standing next to this guy right now with no shirt on, who would girls want to fuck? Who would people respect? And the crazy thing about all of this is that this person is you. This person is you. It's just you with a little bit of a different path or a different take on life. It's you who's the person who does whatever he's supposed to do regardless of how he feels. It's you with an iron mind. This is the exact point. The reason creating this enemy is so important, the reason viewing him and seeing how he sees the world and understanding how important and powerful this person is important is because that person is you. That person is you who does what he's supposed to do without fail. That's all it is. And when you truly, truly put this person together and you truly, truly understand him, and you find out what you could be and you find out what you're battling against, you're going to become far more difficult to demotivate. It's going to be much harder for someone to say to you, don't go to the gym, because you're going to know, well, my enemy, this guy, give him a name, whatever. This dude's going to the gym. That's why he looks how he looks. And that's who I'm being compared to. So I have to go to the gym. Oh yeah, but I'm tired. Well, you don't go then. My training partner doesn't want to go. Fine, you don't go. I am going. I'm not the guy who's going to let this man beat me. And you have to start comparing yourself to this guy in every single facet. I still do it to this day. I compare my bank balance to this guy's and he's killing me. I compare my body to this guy's, he's killing me. I compare so many things about myself. You guys may look at me and go, oh, Tate, millionaire, girls, this, that, that. I'm still comparing myself to this person I've created. And I know that I'm losing. And that's what drives me forward. That's why I don't miss the gym. That's how I find a way to make money. That's how I do whatever it takes to succeed, because I know who I'm battling against. Most of you guys have no enemy. You have no enemy. Or you have an enemy which is somebody else. You're looking at Justin Bieber or Drake or some shit. That's not going to motivate you. That's pointless. It's not going to help you. Or you have no enemy at all. You have a support structure around you and you have people who say, oh, you're great just the way you are. You're beautiful just the way you are. And you're sitting there and living in your little comfort zone like a little bitch. Bullshit. Put this enemy together from start to finish. Feel free to email me the list. Email me the list. I'll see if there's anything you've missed out. My email address is at the bottom of the screen. Feel free to email me your list. I'll compare it to my list and we'll see if there's anything you've missed out. But this is going to be the most important thing across the next 6 weeks we're going to keep referring back to. And when you truly put this list together, you truly create this person and truly understand that it could be you, it's going to be far more difficult to stop you doing what you need to do in the future.
I said my ancestors would trade for me any day. I'm just keeping it 100, bro. Like you picking cotton or you got the schedule I got? Like which one you want? You feel what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, you got it twisted, bro. 100 years ago, we ain't had this opportunity. So I don't care if I got to travel every single day, all day, every day. Like Martin Luther King, I kind of feel like he was way sweeter than me. Unfortunately, though, he was born in a time of segregation, right? So I'm in Paris. I'm making 100 racks in Paris just to speak, bro, to speak. I know if Martin Luther King was alive right now, he'd kill the game. But unfortunately, he was born at a time where it was segregation. So the first thing I need to just tell y'all flat out, because some of y'all don't get 120 and you don't get 120 because you take this opportunity for what? Come on, talk back to me. You take this opportunity for what? You take it for granted, bruh. So the reason why I'm so passionate, the reason why I'm grinding, because every day I wake up like I'm in first class, bruh. Like I got on the plane today, my son and I, we got our own little business where we do personality tests. So I got my man on speakerphone, I get in, my man in front of me trying to check. I'm like, bruh, it's 2019. Like I ain't got to cut my phone off. Like this ain't 1942. And I told my man, no disrespect, bro. You talking to a grown man. You in first class, I'm in first class. Like this ain't back in the day. Are you hearing what I'm telling you? Like this ain't back in the day. I earned the right to be here. I grinded to be here. I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning the last 13 years, giving out content every day. I deserve to be here. Don't talk to me like that. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? See, because I grind so hard, I work so hard, that when I get this opportunity, like I don't play with it. I don't act like I deserve to be here. I think about my ancestors and what they went through, and that's why I'm here. So the first thing I need y'all to do is, and I know you sweet. You've been sweet since you was in high school. You've been sweet since you was in college, and people been worshiping you. I understand that. But what I'm trying to tell you, this different, baby. This ain't high school. This ain't college. Like, this ain't for funsies. Like, this somebody's lifestyle. And people going out there and getting it. And if something happens to you, I promise you, if something happened to you, as sweet as you are, you're going to be what? Come on, you got to talk back to me. You're going to be what? Replaced. Say it again. You're going to be what? That ought to scare you. That ought to scare you. That alone ought to make you wake up every day and say, I cannot afford to be replaced. Now I need 3 people to be honest before I go there. You cannot afford to be replaced. Why? Somebody talk to me. I can tell you why I can't afford to be replaced. You tell me why you can't afford to be replaced. Say it again. My wife got MS, bruh. She will never go back to work again. You understand me? 3 years ago, she was diagnosed with MS. She will never go back to work again. She's doing phenomenal. I'm building a house in San Diego right now. Why? Because she got a vitamin D deficiency. And Michigan don't work in the wintertime. We don't got a lot of sun. So when I get up to speak, this ain't just about speaking. This making sure baby girl ain't never got to work again. This making sure she got a crib in Michigan, she got a crib in San Diego, and the next one I'm getting her is in Hawaii. Are you hearing what I'm saying? I ain't playing games. This ain't about like putting up something on YouTube. That's like an after effect. The stuff y'all see, that's an after effect of what? Of me grinding for my wife. My son worked for me. I don't want him working for nobody. I'll never forget when my son graduated. He wanted to be an agent. He wanted to work for The Rock. He told me, Dad, I got an opportunity to work with The Rock. I started laughing. He was like, I'm going to get the chain. You know, he young. I'm going to get the chain. I said, you're going to get the what? He said, I'm going to work with The Rock and get the chain. I said, boy, you and Thomas, we make up our own chain. We ain't wearing nobody else's chain. You ain't got to wear another man's chain. You work and get your own chain. You make your chain famous. You make other people want to wear your stuff. So number one, I can't be replaced. I got my son counting on me. I can't be replaced. I got my wife counting on me. I can't be replaced. I got my daughter who's a senior at Michigan State counting on me, and she don't know what a loan is. She don't know what FAFSA is. I got my mama who retired counting on me. I can't be replaced. Some of y'all acting like you acting like you indispensable. You acting like if something happened to you, they're gonna wait around for the next 2-3 years. Like your spot is just guaranteed. Talk to me. Why can't you be replaced? I got one. Give me one more. Why can't you? Maybe you don't even know why you can't be replaced. Do you know why you can't be replaced? Anybody? Don't let me call on you. Come on, talk to me. Why can't you be replaced? I got time. Coach, I asked him how much time I had before I came in. He told me what I had. We got a little bit more. I can sit here and wait the whole time if you want me to. But I need somebody to tell me why you can't be replaced. Oh, you good. You know already. I feel you, bro. You good. I need somebody else. You already, we good.
You fought your whole life to get to this point. Just let it slip away.
Did you hear what he just said? That's another player. That's why I'm saying it because I don't play football. Say it one more time.
You fought your whole life to get to this moment just to let it slip away.
You know what's crazy, bro? I've been doing this for a long time. I used to think in my mind, like when I used to go and speak for teams, I used to think in my mind like, yo, y'all finally there, right? Like, yo, like bros in here like scrapping and people getting up early and people eating right, like, and people ain't on social media and people ain't smoking and people ain't drinking. Like, I was so stupid when I first started doing this. I thought everybody that came to the league was about that life. I just thought everybody was like getting up first thing in the morning, hitting the weights, eating right. I thought everybody came out like, let's go. And then I realized, yo, some dudes got here. This was their whole dream to get to the league, and they got to the league and they ain't got no more dream. You finally got to where you've been trying to get to your whole life, and you were sweeter in high school in terms of the grind. You worked harder in college than you do in the NFL. It blew my mind. You here. But for some of you, that contract messed you up. You soft now. You ain't as hungry as you was when you was in high school. You ain't as hungry as you was when you was in college. You ain't as hungry as you were your first year. You ain't as hungry as you were your second year. And it could tell it, like we could see it in your game. You a grown man. Like I used to watch the game and go like, okay, what's the difference between this team and this team? And it's just like the players. I'm like, no, it's got to be bigger than that. Like they all grown, they all big, they all tight, they shoot the same way. And I started realizing some dudes come with that beast and other dudes just show up. Now I'm gonna ask you a question. This is gonna be hard for some of you young and you like still worried about what people think about you, so you don't want to be honest in front of people. Well, I'm gonna ask you a serious question. If 120% is like, yo, but coach, I work harder than coach want me to work. And then 100% is I do everything coach tell me to do. I want you to think about what level you are. Are you giving 90, 80, 70? Let's see what I'm saying for a minute. And most of y'all know me. You know me from where? Like, where would you know me from? Social media. Where would you know me from? Say it again. Social media. Yep, I want you to pay attention to what I'm saying. Watch this. I give 120. So I just got up 12 years ago, just started getting online. It was a recession at the time. And I saw what was going on in America. I'm from Detroit. GM, Chrysler, Ford went down. People started going to the casinos, shooting themselves, killing themselves. I was like, I got a gift. I'm just going to get online and kill it. Every Monday I would get up. Thank God it's Monday. Kill it. Nike never sponsored me. Adidas never sponsored me. Under Armour never sponsored me. I get up every Monday and get a world something. Then it got crazy. I started meeting people and people be like, yo, E.T., what up? Thank God it's money. I'm like, ooh, they feeling this. So then I started doing it every day. And then I started realizing cats is really feeling this, and I started doing it 3 times a day. You wake up and get 3 videos from me, you won't pay a dime for it. That's 120. Ain't nobody paying me, but I'm giving it out. Year after year after year. Boom, commercials. Year after year, Meek like E, I want to put you on my album. Year after year after year, I'm international. Year after year after year, I'm putting in that work, and I wake up one day, and what number am I as a speaker? Am I number 10 in the world? Am I number 5 in the world? Just take a guess what number you think I am. Number 1 in the world. I passed Tony Robbins, Les Brown, Zig Ziglar. Nobody paid me to do this. I just got up and gave 120%. And when you give 120, that's what happened. You become number 1 in the world. I want to ask you a question, seriously. What percentage are you giving? So we're going to start here. You're like, yeah, I'm giving 120, bro. I don't got no more to give to Panthers. I gave everything I got. I have no more to give. Like, I really put 120 into this. Do me a favor, don't lie, because we're not giving out no awards for this. So raise your hand if you're giving 120. Like, I ain't got no more to give, E. Good, I see you. I see you, E. I'm giving 100, E. I know I'm just doing at least what Coach want me to do. I'm doing everything Coach want me to do. Good, hands down. I'm giving about 90%, E. I'm gonna be real. I'm giving about 90%. Let me see your hand. Yep, I feel you. I see you. Yep, E. I'm talented, bruh. For real, for real. I know I look sweet out there, but I'm probably giving about 80% of my effort. Let me see your hands. I'm giving about 80%. Let me see your hand. 70%. Let me see your hand. All right, let's go back, because I saw some people didn't raise their hand. So I'm like, you know what I'm saying? So let's go back again. Like, maybe you didn't hear what I said. I said, like, I need you for you, not for me. I need you for you to admit where you are. Because once we go back out, my goal is to come here and take you to that next level. So when I came after 212 and I came back, some stuff happened after the next year and the next year. And that's what we're hoping to happen again. I feel like Coach don't play with me. He bring me in when he know he got a good group, and they just need to make a couple adjustments and they go to the Super Bowl. So let's start all over again. You giving 120, bro, flat out. You ain't got no more to give. Let me see your hand. You ain't got no more to give. I see you. Yeah. And I'm talking about that grind. I get that grind. I'm at schools. I'm going to prisons. I'm doing everything I can. And when I go to bed at night, I hear, well done, thou good and faithful servant. I hear it. In my head, I hear it. Like, yep, you getting it, son. Let's go. You giving 100%. Let me see your hand. You giving 100%. Good, hands down. You giving 90%. Yep, I see you, bro. Appreciate y'all. Yep, you giving 80%. Let me see your hand. Good, let's talk real quick. What is it gonna take to get to 120? I need y'all to talk back to me. I got 2 more things. What is it gonna take for y'all to give 120? What is it gonna take for you to give every single thing you got? What is that gonna take? Well, why aren't you doing that right now? That's the question. I need somebody to help me out. You didn't raise your hand for 120. What is that gonna take? Good, consistency. Good, why is it hard to be consistent? Good, mentally. Right? So we're gonna have to focus on that. Like when you go back, that's why I'm asking the question. So I'm gonna get with Coach. We do some like mental stuff, right? I want to help you because you got to be mentally strong. So when I do my videos, like people ain't like, he fell off. Where he at? No. Since the time I did it to now, I've been number 1 for the last 5-6 years. It's consistency. And so I got to go to bed at a certain time. I got to wake up at a certain time. There's certain things I can't eat, certain things I can't watch, certain things I can't do. You feel me? Why? Because I want this as bad as I want to breathe. Good. What else is keeping us from being 120? Good. It's got to be what? Good. And let's just be real. For some of y'all, okay, maybe you don't want to raise your hand, but for some of you, when you reach the goal, it was difficult for you to set another goal. Let's say it like that. Let's do this. Be honest with me. Raise your hand if you like, yo, E, I had a goal when I was young to get to the league, and I got to the league, and I'm going to be honest. I made it to the league, and that dog, I ain't got that dog like I used to have it when I was in high school or college. Let me see your hand. Just be honest. It don't mean you ain't got that dog. I'm saying compared to when you was in high school and college and you was trying to get here, you might not got that dog like you had that dog then. Let me see your hand. All right, so I'm gonna do it one more time. Yeah, maybe because coach here, the coaching staff here, I don't know. Maybe that's why you can't do it. Maybe you can go right here for me. You know what I'm saying? Because people looking, so I feel you. You know what I'm saying? I feel you. Maybe you just do one of these for me so I can see you. Just be real with me when you like, yo, E, just being honest, bro. Like I do want it, but I don't want it like I wanted it then. Can I get a? So, all right, so since you're not gonna raise your hand, can we at least talk? Do you understand what I'm talking about? What did that dog look like in high school and college that it don't look like right now? Talk to me, what's the difference? What did that dog look like when you was in high school and college versus how I look now for some of y'all? Say it again. Good, so you didn't care about outside. No, you won't worry about nobody else's approval. All right, only approval we need is God in the bank. We don't need nobody else's approval. You made it, we here. What else? Talk to me, what else? So some of us young, and I ain't talking about age, just immature, and we care about what other people think. And that energy is not going, that energy is not allowing us to put all our energy on. Good, what are some of those things? So you saying you're not tunnel vision. Good, good. And what about life? Give me some, say it again. Good, so give me some of that. I'm not a player, give me some of what's life. Yep, yep. Okay, I ain't even football. That's okay. He said NFL, I got to deal with that. You feel what I'm saying? Like I got to deal with the same thing. So let me say this to you. And let me be real with you. I lost 5 aunts to cancer in the last 10 years. My mother-in-law was diagnosed with cancer. They sent her home. She just strong and she outlasted. My wife, MS, listen to me very closely. Life gonna go on regardless. I just want to make sure that the life we got left, that is sweeter than the life that if I would give up or if I wasn't focused and I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do. So when you've been with somebody since you're 16 years old and they got a chronic illness, don't you know it's easy for me to go drink? Now it would be easy for me to go drink too. It's rough. My life, it ain't what it used to be before she got sick. Like while God is blessing her, she still got MS. I lost 5 aunts to cancer. You don't think I could have smoked some weed? You don't think I should have took some coke? You don't think I could have got on drugs? You don't think I could have got with other women? Like you don't think when I'm going through that pressure, I couldn't have broke? But you talked about it, mental toughness. It is in those times we have to be stronger than we've ever been before. Why? Because they need us more than they ever needed us before. And you guys are blessed in that you are the 1%ers. Not many people want to be in your life who want the life that you have and you got it and you not taking it serious. Like you know how many people would die to have this life? You know how many people would die to be on the field on Sunday? You know how many people would die to eat the way y'all eat? You know how many people would die to have the gear y'all got? You know how many people would die to get on these planes and travel the world? You know how many people would die to have your life and you got it? It's your life, you got it. What you gonna do with it? So when you talk about that pressure, what happened was when my wife found out she had MS, we was in the hospital and she looked at me and I saw her drop a tear. And I looked at her in total mental toughness. We can, we will, and we must get through this. You in my watch, boo. I promise you're gonna be all right. You got your mama in your care. You got your grandma in your care, your siblings in your care. I told the doctor, my wife will not be in a wheelchair on my watch. Not on my watch. She won't go blind on my watch. I go to every doctor's appointment. I help her with every meal. Are you hearing what I'm saying? This is my life, and we're gonna make it the best possible. How many of y'all in this room, you like, yo, E, it is my life, but I ain't been in control of it as much as I should be in control of it. And after the day, I'm taking more control of it. Let me see your hand. Be honest with me. Come on, let me see your hands. I'm taking more control of that. What does that look like? 2 people tell me, what would that look like? I'm taking more control of this opportunity. What would that look like?
Listen, getting successful, whatever you consider successful, if it's rich, whatever, it's not a magic trick. It's not God picks certain people he'll make rich and certain people he don't. He gives all of us as his children the power of choice. You have a say-so in that. You can decide to be rich, and with God's help, it's highly doable. But you first have to think it. The difference between successful people and non-successful people is here. I'm no better than none of you. I'm not a better person than you. I'm not a better Christian than you. God don't love me more than you. None of that. If you want to be successful, you have to change this. This has to change. Listen to me. It's not what makes it hard is your lack of belief that it can happen for you. The fact of it is, though, it's very doable. See, but you got to change, though. If you keep doing what you've been doing, you're going to keep getting what you've been getting. So if you're at a place in your life and you ain't happy with it, you have to change some things. But you have to make a conscientious decision that you're going to change. And it's not dependent on anybody else. It don't matter what your mama think. It don't matter what your coworkers think. It don't matter what your siblings think. It don't matter what your children think. It don't matter. They have nothing to do with it. This decision is yours and yours alone. It's two people born in a hospital every day. It's a person that's born in the hospital that's going to get a job, and somebody born in the hospital that's going to give them a job. You get to decide which one you're going to be. You get to decide. Let me tell you something. You get to decide if I'm going to be rich, poor, mediocre, plentiful, happy, sad. You have a decision to make. Your mind, all right, here we go. This is the teaching. Let me give you this so you can get on with your 2019. You walk in the house, you pick up the remote control. Let me teach you how this works. And you press the power button. When I told you 2019 will be the best year of your life, but you have to claim it. You have to expect it to be the best year of your life. You have to live your life with the expectation that great things are coming your way. And that's how it works. Now let me teach it to you. You grab your remote, you press the power button. What do you expect to happen? You expect the TV to come on. Guess what? It come on. If you want to see Sports Center channel 46, and you press 46 and OK or select, what do you expect to come on your TV? Sports Center. And guess what show up? Sports Center. They got the concept of creating a remote from the Bible. See, God is tied to all of this. You better understand what I'm trying to tell you. The Bible says a man is as he thinketh. God created us in his image. God thought of this world. He thought of it, so he created it. So he made you just like him, that your thoughts can create things. He made you just like him. Now you can't go make earth and heaven like he did, but you can make a better world for yourself. There is a scripture, Habakkuk 2:2. It says, write the vision and make it plain, so that he who reads it will run to it. And even though it tarry means take a long time, wait for it, for surely it will come at an appointed time. That's in the Bible. That ain't in the rich people's copy. That's in everybody's Bible. The problem is everybody don't do it. But it's right there. But you got to do it. I'm just telling you, if you don't do it, it's too hard. It's almost impossible. That vision board has changed my life. Everything I put on my vision board, I get. Everything. Now you have to understand something. It's not going to come when you want it to come. It comes at an appointed time. That's the trick. But the appointed time is what throws people off. Because when you ask God for something, he sends it, he ships it immediately. Soon as you ask him something, you really believe he'll do it, he boxes it up and he ships it to you immediately. The problem with the package is he never gives you the date that the package is going to arrive. He doesn't do that. He doesn't do that. Because if he told you the date that the package would arrive, it would destroy the requirement he has of all of us, which is faith. Faith is the belief in things that you cannot see. So if you ask God for $1 million and he tell you I'm gonna give it to you in March of 2020, you wouldn't need no faith. You'd be talking to people crazy because you know in 2020, I'm finna be a millionaire.